What if I told you that by making one small change, you can have a dramatic impact on your happiness, your well-being, and the productivity you have as a leader? Let's go. Our environments are deeply connected to our mental health. The way things are around us has a dramatic impact on how we feel, how we perceive ourselves, and even the productivity that we can produce with. And yet a lot of times we don't spend enough time thinking about the environments that we find ourselves in. Gretchen Rubin says we feel the way we act, so by changing our habits we can become happy. One small change can have a dramatic impact on how you live your life, especially when it comes to us cleaning up the environments we're in. We may learn all of the leadership science we can, we may learn all of the tools that we need to be able to deliver well, but for a lot of us, we haven't spent enough time making some simple changes in our environment that will have a massive impact on how we're feeling and the output that we're doing. The things that we have become the reward for the work that we do, and yet they've created chaos in the space and environment that we exist inside of. Chaotic spaces can become a great cause of stress in our lives. We need to stop the flow of stuff coming into our spaces. It's no good cleaning up or decluttering if we're simply going to replace what was there with something else. Most of us desire to have calm spaces. Without a process or system in place, we will always end up with chaos around us. You need to put in a plan to help you organize your space and keep it organized. You are responsible for your space. You are responsible to ensure that your space is clean and organized. You cannot blame someone else or hope that someone else will organize it. Unless there is a shift in you, you'll always end up with the same chaos that you started with. Most of us have gotten into habits where we don't pack things away, don't organize our spaces, or keep acquiring more things. All of these habits are behaviors we've learned and put into our lives, which also means it's behaviors we can change. A lot of us love the idea of using the things we have, even though we know we never will. Oftentimes it's really difficult to get rid of those things, not because we're afraid of losing the thing, but rather the idea attached to the thing. And yet those things that are great ideas, things we would wish or desire to do but know we never will, end up creating chaos in the spaces around us. It is difficult to get rid of things because of the monetary cost involved in what we've purchased. Getting rid of something that had a significant cost to it is hard because it shows up that we probably should never have purchased it in the beginning. All of these things ring true for me. I had a huge amount of stuff cluttering up my space. Things that I had spent my hard-earned money on and yet never used. Things that I hoped I would use one day and I never did. And yet all of these were having a negative impact on me and my well-being because they were cluttering up the environment and space that I was inside of. Getting rid of stuff can be a painful process. Research has showed us that the same area of our brain that processes pain is accessed when we're busy trying to get rid of our stuff. This is why decluttering is so difficult. It's a painful process for most of us to go through. When there is chaos in an environment, our brain is spending all of its time trying to bring order into that chaos. Our brain is wired to look for patterns, and so it's trying to make sense of those things around us. Even if we hide the chaos away, our brain knows that it's hidden away and it's trying to make order of it. This chaos causes us to be less productive because it's competing with our brain for attention. So what's the simple trick? Well, the simple trick is to sort out your space. There are 3 big things you can do that will help you begin to actively sort out your space. Stop buying things. If you want to decrease the chaos around you and begin to decrease the clutter you have around you, the simplest thing you can do is to stop buying things. Oftentimes we go out and buy things because we've misplaced or lost those things that we already have. And if we had a better way of organizing, a better way of storing, and less clutter, we would know that we have those. One of the best ways to cut clutter out of your life and to begin to sort out your environment is to simply stop buying things. Start to purge. Start to get rid of those things that you no longer use or need. I normally try to do this in 3 ways. The first way is I place things that I think I may need into a box. If I haven't used them within 2 or 3 months, I get rid of those things. The second way that I do this is I go around and I simply remove anything that I haven't used in the last year. By doing this, it really helps me to keep the place clutter-free. And thirdly, at least once a week or once every second week, I go around and get rid of all of those bits and pieces that are just building up that I need to actually remove or don't use. Straighten. The third thing is to organize your space. Apply constraints into it and set up a system. The reality of us bringing order to the chaos of the environments around us will help us to appreciate those things we have more. The more things I get rid of, the more I value what I have. By sorting out your space, you're also more likely to make use of all of those things that you have. The less you have, the less likely you also are of replacing those things that you have, because you know that you have them, you know where they are, and so when you need them, you can get them and make use of them. The less you have, the less stressed you'll feel, because your spaces will feel calmer. The more chaotic our space is, the less productive we will be. Our environments are deeply connected to our mental well-being and how we feel. When we're in a calm, relaxed space, we feel more calm and relaxed, which will result in us being more productive and having a higher level of output. As leaders, we spend so much time thinking through the science and art of leadership, and very little time thinking through the environments that we find ourselves in. Are these environments helping you to be the most productive you can be? Are these environments helping to drive you to feel calm and stress-free and happier? Stop buying things. Start to purge. Straighten your space and mind. One small change, sorting out your environment, can have a massive impact on your feeling and well-being.